Shalom, shalom, Israel, shalom. It's your brother Joshua back with another quick coffee break and a quick exhortation for the brothers and sisters in the truth. First and foremost, I want to give all honor and all glory to Yahweh by Shema Mashiach Yahushai, right? And I want to come talk to brothers and sisters real quick to kind of put it on your mind for you to ask yourself a question. Right, and one question in particular is, when you die, what will people say about you? Right, when you die, what will people say about you? Right, and that's important to think on. Right, what type of person were you? What type of help did you give? How did you walk? Right, etc., etc. And that's important because a man's name is who he is, and it's his legacy, right? And a man's name is not only his name, but is also his children's name, his wife's name, right? And those that come after him in generations, right? And your name should ring throughout the annals of time. Right, so you want to ask a question: am I going to continue to live on, or am I going to die twice? And what I mean by that is, some people live, they develop an ill name or a bad report while they're here, and when they die, right, everyone cries at the funeral for a couple of hours. Then after that, there's no more discussion about you. Your name disappears from the earth and you're forgotten about, man. Right? That's what I mean by dying twice. You can die twice by physically dying, and then you can die when your name is taken out of the earth, when nobody speaks of you anymore. Right? Let me get a precept real quick in the book of Ecclesiasticus chapter 40 and verse 13. It says, "A good life have but few days, but a good name endureth forever." So a good name is going to endure forever. And you have to ask yourself, while you're here, are you accumulating a good name for yourself? Right? What works are you committing on the earth that is going to cause you to have a good name, or to cause you to have an evil name? What are you putting your hands to? Right? What are you spending your time doing? Are you a backbiter, a liar, a thief, a cheater, right? A murderer? Or are you a dependable person, a lover, one that's going to go and fight for his brothers or his sisters, right? Those that you can come to and have counsel. Who are you in this world? And what are you doing? Right? Because a great man is someone that people can come to and get advice from. Right? A great man with a great name is those that can ask questions and is being answered prompt to. Or if you can't get to that person at that time, he's always going to come back and find you and give you the nourishment that you need. Right? That's always there when it's called upon. Are you that person? Or you are not a dependable person where somebody can try to call on you and you're never around? You always have an excuse. What type of name are you leaving behind? What you should be trying to leave behind is being a righteous man, right? A dependable father, strong, a provider, right? Someone that can always give sound advice that's positive and is useful. Right? Let's go to let's stay in Sirach, right? Ecclesiasticus, and let's go to chapter 44 real quick. And it says, "Let us now praise famous men and our fathers that begot us. The Lord hath wrought great glory by them through his great power from the beginning. Such as did bear rule in their kingdoms, men of renown for their power, giving counsel by their understanding and declaring prophecies. Leaders of the people by their counsels, and by their knowledge of learning, meet for the people wise and eloquent in their instructions. So that's what you want to be. You want to be known for as a wise and eloquent instructor, someone that can be dependable, someone that gives wise counsel, right? And helps someone else profit from your counsel, right? And you got to think upon these things as you continue to be able to live, right? Am I that person that somebody can get that wise counsel from or depend upon? Or am I just some type of bum, or some type of, Negro out there that, nobody likes? That's always talked about, disrespected, don't nobody deal with, things of that nature, man. Right? And what you got to understand is when you die, your name should always be going on. And what I mean by that is when people sit down and speak of memories of you, it should always be a beautiful memory. And also, you should be living on through your children. Your children are those that are carrying on your legacy. And the scriptures tell you a man may be known in his children, right? The scriptures also tell you that you train up a child in the way he should go, right? That he will not depart from it as he grows up, paraphrasing. So, are you going to continue to live through your children? Or are you going to die as soon as you meet that physical death? You go into the grave and your memorial, your memory, and your seed line stops. And there's no more conversation about your greatness. Right? Don't die twice. Be memorialized forever through your children and your righteous deeds while you're here. Right? Let's get another precept real quick. Let's stay in Sirach, right? Chapter 44, and let's jump down to verse number 9. It says, and some there be which have no memorial, who are perished as though they were never been, right? And are become as though they had never been born, and their children after them. And that's what you don't want, to die and your name die along with you. And then your children have an ill name as well. And they carry on wickedness, and it will be like though you were never born. You're supposed to be remembered in your children. Right? Let's hold that real quick and let's jump back a couple of chapters real quick. Sirach chapter 30, and I'm going to start at verse number 30 and 3, right? I'm going to start at verse 3. It says, he that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy, and before his friends he shall rejoice of him. Though his father die, yet he is as though he were not dead, for he had left one behind him that is like himself. Right? So that's how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to be able to teach your son and your son's sons, right? And your son's sons, and so on and so forth. Right? It's so to be like you were never dead. Right? You hear in the world when people, look at your child and say, yeah, that's so-and-so son right there, man. Not just because of his physical appearance, but by the way he moved, by the way he talked, how he carried himself, right? How he is in public, how he treats his mother, how he treats his wife, his children, and so on and so forth. And that's what you want to happen. When you're gone, you want them to remember you through your children, right? And even through your grandchildren and great-grandchildren and on and on. So your name can be a staple throughout generations and live on forever with a beautiful name. Right? Let's go back to chapter 44, and I'm going to start at verse number 10. It says, but these were merciful men whose righteousness have not been forgotten, for their seed shall continually remain in a good heritage, and their children within the covenant, right? So your children shall follow after you. And it says, their seed standeth fast, and their children are for their sakes, right? Let me read that one more time. It says, their children standeth fast, and their children for their sakes. So their children are going to stand strong in what you have installed in them. And then their children are going to do the same thing. And they're going to carry on that legacy. And it says, their seed shall remain forever, and their glory shall not be bottled out. Right? Salakia. It says, their seed shall remain forever, and their glory shall not be blotted out. Okay? And it says, their bodies are buried in peace, but their name liveth forevermore. And that's what you want to do. That's what you want to have, is a wonderful name, man. Right? A name that follows you. You want to have a name to where anybody that has a memory and speaks about you, when they sit among their family and friends, it should be like they're singing a sweet song. Right? It should be like, laughter and things in the room. And you remember when he used to do this, and you remember when he said this, or I will never forget him doing this for me, or saying this to me, or teaching me this. That's what should always be. Right? Let me get one more, and I'm going to close out, right? This is how you should be remembered, right? This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 49, and I'm going to start at verse 1. It says, the remembrance of Joseph is like the composition of a perfume that is made by the art of the apothecary. It is sweet as honey in all mouths, and as music at a banquet of wine. So when people speak your name, it should sound like they're singing music, man. It should be a sweet taste to their lips like honey, man. It should never be bitter. Nobody should ever be able to speak ill of your name. So is that how you want to be remembered? As a wicked, low-down, no-good man? Or you want to be remembered as a righteous, elegant teacher, man, that followed the ways of the Most High, and that taught his sons and his sons' sons to be righteous, to love their wives, to respect their mothers, raise their children, right, and move with wisdom in this world? How are you going to be remembered? How is your name going to be carried on? Or are you going to die twice? Right, let's get one more. Let's get one more. Right, let's go to the book of Proverbs, chapter 22, and verse number 1. It says, a good name is rather to be chosen than great riches, and loving favor rather than silver and gold. Right? So with that, I hope it was edifying. Take the precepts and apply them to your life. How will you be remembered? Is your name going to live on, or are you going to die twice? With that, Shalom.